and welcome to the Little Blue Vlog. It's Jem here. How is everybody? Yes, I have been absolutely atrocious with comments, and it's so annoying because I've had so many good ones and I really want to reply, so I am going to try and work my way through. I don't know why I've let it build up, but I think after that thing the other day with that comment, which I've got over now, I think, because of that, I avoided the comments for a bit, so now I've left with like literally about 100 to reply to, so I'm going to work my way through that. Where's Baxter gone? Oh, there he is. So yeah, I'm in the woods again today. It's really hot, so I'm keeping him out of the sun, but yeah, you've got to see him because he had a haircut and he looks pretty spectacular. Baxter, come! Come! Baxter, come! Oh, he's done his disappearing act. So how have you been? Please let me know how you're getting on. Always important to do our weekly check-ins to see how everyone's getting on, and it really does help others in the community who are going through something similar to make everyone feel less alone. And as always, it's good to kind of just reflect on what's been and what's gone, and you know, kind of think, how can I do better next time, or what can I put in place to make my anxiety less or make my depression more easy to manage. Baxter, come! Oh, he gone this time. So yeah, he came back. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see this, but hello, baby. I'm not sure if you can actually see that because I haven't been able to turn the camera around properly. So that's him. He looks like a completely different breed. Took him on a walk this morning and a woman said, "Is he a schnauzer?" It's like, it looks like a schnauzer, but yeah. Been really brave this week. Been on a dog walk with my owner. With my owner, that's Andy. With my neighbour, I went on a dog walk with my neighbour, which was really good, out of my comfort zone. Ended up having a really lovely time. She's awesome, and yeah, got on really well with her, and she's got 2 little dogs and they all ran around together, so that was really sweet. But yeah, out of my comfort zone, which is always good, and yeah, I'm feeling quite good about that. But I didn't go to the charity shop this week, and I didn't go to counselling, so I cancelled on 2 things this week, doing my usual avoidance. So the week started off really rubbish because I phoned in sick, even though I'm not sick. I just got really anxious, didn't feel like I was capable of doing it, didn't feel strong enough, didn't feel mentally well enough. So then I said I'd go in the next day, and I didn't go in the next day, so I'm feeling really bad and I'm worried they're probably not going to have me back. So, ooh, itchy arm. I'm getting lots of bites going on these walks. I keep coming home with like, yeah, big bites on my arms and my legs. So what else? Yes, I feel proud of myself for kind of, you know, getting through it, but yeah, I do feel a bit like I've let myself down, because it would have been really good to go, and it would have been really good for my confidence and my exposure to kind of work for my phobia. So I'm a little bit disappointed in myself, but on the flip side, I'm quite proud of myself for something else that happened this week. I bumped into this lady that I've met on a few dog walks when I go on my morning walk, and we were just chatting, and I was asking her how she got into dog walking, because she's a dog walker, and she had like 6 dogs with her. And I was like, I think I said to Andy like the day before, I was like, I'd love to work with nature, I'd love to work with dogs, I'd love to work outside. And yeah, sure enough, the next day I met this lady, lovely lady. Anyone that looks after dogs is a good person in my head, or animals. I was asking her how she got into it, and then she kind of got really kind of interested, because she said, what do I do? And I said, I don't work. I said, I do a bit of volunteering ish. And yay, good boy, yes Yes, baby. Yes. I lost my train of thought. Yes. Yeah, so I was talking to her about it, and then she was like, what do I do? And I said, I don't work, but what I used to do and things like that. And she said, would you be interested in helping me? So I was kind of like, oh, this sounds good. Oh, why do I always film you when you're having a wee? Yeah. So she said, I'm looking for a driver and someone to help me on the dog walks. So she's got kind of more time to do other things or even get more clients and things like that. And I did sort of say, yeah, I'd be up for it. So I been out on 2 dog walks with her this week. So what I didn't do in the volunteering, I made up for in the dog walking. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about that, but also like the fact that I'm not even been able to maintain a job that's volunteering job, that's 4 hours once a week. I'm kind of thinking, am I going to be able to maintain an actual job? So yeah, I've got a lot of negative stuff going on in my head. So this week's topic is about living in the past, because Andy says I do this a lot, which I do. I'm constantly living in the past and not living in the present, and I think that can be what mental illness does to us sometimes. Rumination especially, because rumination are thoughts that just keep going over and over in our head, replaying things, and that's how it kind of comes out for me. Is I have flashbacks, and one of the things I often do is when I have like a negative thought or a flashback of something that's happened in the past, I might kind of go like that, and Andy would be like, what's up? And I'm just having a flashback. And then sometimes when Andy and I go into bed, this way baby, we've got to stay in the shade, I'll lie there, and that's when my thoughts start to go rapid thoughts when I'm lying down, and I'll kind of like lie there and suddenly squeeze him like with my hand, and that's kind of, and he's like, oh, you're having another flashback? Like, yeah. And it's not flashbacks of like really bad stuff, or sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just like a mistake I made that day, or a mistake I made in the past. But for me, it's kind of like living with regret. And they always say regret the things you do, not the things you don't do, or something. But is that the right expression? Oh no, I've lost my piece of paper. Oh, piss, there it is. Yeah, a lot of people experience rumination when they have depression, and this is what my thing I have, is these constant thoughts that go around my head and they don't stop, and a lot of them are to do with the past. And I'm talking things like I was saying a second ago, like regret and kind of feeling guilty about, and shame and hatred for myself, just real kind of another way to hate myself, another means to bring myself down, to be negative towards myself. And I'm always comparing myself now to the past, so I'm not just living in it, I'm making comparisons to it, and it's really unhealthy, because you're not ever actually living in the present, you're always living in the past. And that means you're not really living, oh, hello fly, you're not really living your life, you are existing. And I don't know, it takes up a lot of my time living in the past, when I could be doing much more useful things and much more enjoyable things. Because living in the past is really unhealthy, and I don't know, I just seem to do it a lot. I'm constantly asking questions like, what if, or why didn't I do that, or why didn't I say that, or what could I have done differently, or like really kind of questioning everything that I've done. And this is from stuff that's happened in my past, like more sort of serious stuff, traumatic stuff. But as I said earlier on, it can also be really stupid things. Like yesterday, I went out on the dog walk to help the dog walking lady, and one of the dogs went in the pond. His really long lead got tangled on the bank. I went down the bank to get him, to get his lead, and he pulled me down the bank, and I pretty much went in the pond, completely covered head to toe in mud. So I've been reliving that, and that was only yesterday. So the past can be 20 years ago, 30 years ago, or 24 hours ago. I'm not prejudiced against where my thoughts come from. They can be from anywhere. So I just kind of wanted to bring that up with you guys and sort of find out, do you guys do this? So if I say guys, I don't mean that to be talking about blokes. I know some people don't like to be called a guy if they're a female, but just guys just seems a bit easier. Anyway, yeah, let me know your thoughts on this, because it's obviously not just something I do, but it is something that Andy constantly says. You're always living in the past. Get in the present, stop regretting the things that you've done or you haven't done, and kind of make an effort to kind of be present in the present. And yeah, we can talk about mindfulness and meditation and yoga and being mindful and all of that kind of stuff, but actually that takes practice and it takes time. But it is possible to not be in that state, and that's what I'm hoping. The more I do stuff, the more I'm active, the more I'm getting out and challenging my thoughts and things like that, the less I'm living in the past. I think last year, being at Mum's, when I was so effing down, so effing depressed, that I was constantly living in the past and like going, oh, when I was working I had money and I did this and I did that, and now look at me, oh, da, da, da. It doesn't help living in the past, making comparisons, you know, going through the kind of ruminating thoughts. It doesn't help, it doesn't make us any better. I think it can really slow down recovery, but it's a very normal thing to do. Normal. It's a very common thing to do if you have mental illness, especially things like depression, which brings on the rumination, and the things like anxiety, which can bring on lots of worried thoughts. So please share with me your thoughts on this and let me know if you experience this and how do you combat it, and give me examples of things that maybe that keep you living in the past. Obviously, if you're comfortable and you know, I'm not going into great detail about what I've been through, but if you feel comfortable to do so, then please do. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and I hope this video is okay. I'm really sorry that it really does appear at the moment like I'm not putting a lot of effort into these videos. I am putting a lot of effort in, but when I started the channel I was putting a lot more effort in than I am now, and I do want to get back to that. I do want to get back to 2 videos, I do want to get back to social media, but I'm just doing it in my own sweet time, and until I've kind of worked out my issues and things like that, it is going to be a bit longer. But ultimately, when I do feel better, I'll be back on it and things can start to grow. But please keep subscribing. We're so close to 1,000. If you haven't already, please do. If you have, then great. Please let me know your thoughts on living in the past. Please share with me how your week has been. Please take care of yourselves, and remember that you are awesome. You are a great human being. We've all made mistakes. We've all messed up. Nobody's perfect. And although we may strive for perfection, it's not really attainable, and we need to kind of think, do you know what's good enough for me? What will make me feel good and make others feel good too? So take care, my beautiful people. Love you all to bits. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, thank you for watching, and keep an eye on those thoughts and rumination and worry. Take care. Love you all to bits. Say bye, Baxter. Bye bye.